Hey, what's going on, everybody? The beard is coming back slowly. We're gonna see it grow as we continue to move along. Had to shave it for something. But yeah, so here we are. And we today are going to work on, you guessed it, dun, 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 the ButtKicker stuff. So we're gonna work on the ButtKicker install. I think we're gonna do this one on the chair and the Mini. I think mine is, I wanna say it's this one. I need to go look, but we're gonna work on the install today. We're gonna put one under the seat in the Mini and another one on the desk chair. I'm gonna show you how they work. So stay tuned. Let's do it. Oh, and don't forget, poke like. Yes, poke like. All right, so had to wash the killer tomatoes, so that was a quick break. Now I gotta pull tools. I've been thinking about it, and my neighborhood, people have been stealing tools out of people's houses, so I think I'm gonna move all this stuff to the basement. And we're gonna need it for the install anyway, so let's go. All right, so I pulled the cover out of the window so we have some more light, but as you can see, it's pretty dang dark in here. I know that in order to do what we're gonna do today, we definitely have to take the driver's seat out, and it's very dark. So we'll use the light on the camera, and we'll see how we do. So the cell phone camera, I guess. There's a flashlight, right? Yeah. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna jump in. And what do you think we should do? Leave it in the comments below. Tell me. Should we start with the seat? Let's do that. If you think that we should start with the seat, poke like and leave a comment below. And in three, wait. Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1. Seat is out. Car's a little dirtier than I thought it was inside. So seat is out, and now we have to kind of look at the unit and see how we're going to attach it here. So this thing has basically 3 mounting holes. I'm sorry this is so dark. This is like the worst quality. This one is the ButtKicker Mini Concert 2 ohm impedance. I'm impotent. 50 watt min, 250 max. So it's got these 3 holes, and I don't know if I would screw them in or I might have to zip tie, because if you look at the bottom of the chair, in fact, alright, so if I'm trying to put some light on the situation so you can see a little better here, I mean, what are you going to screw that into, right? I mean, that's the problem with using a real car and doing kind of the home theater thing, because you might normally have like a plastic butt on here. Now, one option I could do is put the office chair one on this bar here. I could also maybe mount this on the back and make it the back kicker, but then it wouldn't be a butt kicker, would it? So, got to play with that a little bit and figure out how we want to attach it. I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it, I think that you want it like right in the middle, but like, how am I going to get that secure, right? But I think what I'm going to do is use zip ties, and I'm going to run this wire out the back and probably up around the end, so something like that. What do you think? First problem with the zip ties, I guess this is like third problem with the project. My super mega zip ties that are made, I think these are made for 30 pounds. They won't fit through these holes, so I guess I'm gonna have to figure out a different zip tie. I guess on the back I could put them up just that way. That might work. Here we go. Just a second, let's see. All right, so I didn't have a really great way to do this just because of the way this is. And just so you know, ButtKicker, these things are made to go on the bottom of like theater seats, and a theater seat isn't open like this. So I did the best I could. It's kind of in the back. I don't know if I'll feel it as much. We're still going to attach the other one to the other chair, so I'll review both of them. But this is on. It's pretty solid. Hopefully it'll hold. Do you think it's going to hold? Leave it in the comments below. If you like this, poke like. And let's see the rest. More project than I was hoping it would, but essentially I pulled out these spacers. I pulled out the stock stereo right there. And then this, I think with a little cutting, is going to be able to fit in here, but as you can see, it's just a little bit too wide. If we cut the plastic, we'll be okay, and probably take off these feet. So once we do that, this will be able to sit, you know, right there, and it'll look pretty cool. The other option is to not cut it, and we can put this down below. Maybe just pull out that whole section. What do you think? Do we put it down below or up here? Leave it in the comments below. What should we do? It's going to be done before we get to it anyway. So I removed this back piece of trim that was back here, and I think that this is going to end up being the best way to do this. Now we do have a speaker back there that we're going to have to move, but then once these go back in, which I'm wondering if I could just flip them upside down. No, because then they won't have a mounting point. But once these go back in, essentially, you know, that might even squish between, but I think I might be able to just cut the piece out on the back of this. But then they'll just wrap around the sides of it. Okay, so there's the right way to do something, and then there's the creative way. ButtKicker is probably going to tell me, hey, you did this completely wrong. And I probably did do it completely wrong. I did do it completely wrong. The thing is without fabricating something here, it's not going to work any other way because there's not like a solid point on the bottom of this. The other option is to put it on the back, but then it's not a ButtKicker. It'll just kind of shake you. So I'm going to put it here. It's only 4 bolts to take it out after. The main thing is I just want to test how it works. The easy thing is that once I have this done, these are 50-pound zip ties, so these things can hold it. That thing's not coming loose. The whole chair moves, so it might dampen it. I might not get 100% out of it, but I think that this will still work because it's completely in there and it's not going anywhere. Look, the whole chair moves. We're going to try it that way. If anything, as a test setup. If I end up fabricating something, I want it right here anyway, but what I'm worried about is how the sliders and stuff all work. So we'll try that. Now the other thing is where we mounted the deck or the amplifier. So I mounted the amplifier here. I did have to cut these a little bit to fit it, and I lost my cigarette port, but that's fine. It was a little bit too wide to put up here, so I found a way to position it down there. So exciting, and we keep moving. We're going to wire everything up to the ButtKicker as far as the amplifier and everything goes. That way I just want to make sure we have everything, because once this goes in, it's actually going to be pretty hard to get back out, just the way that you have to remove those trim pieces. So this is going in just like a stereo deck. So this is going to go in. I left space behind it so that these can still come out. These are going to go to the stereo. I'll be interested to see how I'm hooking it all up, because where the car's already got, it's got a Harman Kardon stereo inside. So we've got that already wired in. So I've got to go through and just look at a few things here, see what we do. Okay, so the car is way dirtier than I thought it was when I did it originally. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just tucking this lead wire that goes to the amp from the ButtKicker. I want everything tucked. As you can tell, like all my wires and everything now run underneath. I even have like speakers back where the car speakers were. But I want this, before I put the seat back in, this has to get cleaned. I'm going to clean that. It looks like a baby puked in it. The person who had this car before me was disgusting. I've been cleaning stuff out of it the whole time. But when you're doing a whole project, it's hard to get every tiny detail when you're doing a giant project. So now that I can see that that's an issue, I'll tuck this, and before I put the seat back in, I'll take care of that. But now that I'm thinking about it, I probably need to hook these wires up before I plug them into that, and then I'll run that. That makes a lot more sense. Get the seat in and do it there first. See, that's why I made a video, so I could correct myself. Clean that out. See, vacuumed pretty good, but I don't have my good vacuum down here, so we'll hit it again. I definitely cleaned that door sill though. Gross. These are all connected up. I'm gonna zip tie this down so it holds. We're just gonna try this. If it doesn't work at all, then I'll take it out. I'll tell you in the next video when we review it. But what do you think? Is it going to work? Leave it in the comments below. If you haven't yet, make sure you like this, tap like, poke like. Okay, so as promised, pretty clean in here. I need to get my other vacuum out, clean that disgusting door sill. Now what we're gonna do is, I went ahead and capped these. These are all together now. Again, I didn't do anything to change this, but look how tough that is. I am gonna zip tie those cables down. And then, oh, that's kind of a weird angle. Looks like it's not, but it's good. Okay. You're gonna see that this thing's gonna work. If it doesn't work, I'll fabricate something, okay? Do you think it's gonna work? Leave it in the comments below. It might not work 100% of how well it should work, but if it works well enough, I'll let you know. What do you think? Poke like if you haven't already, subscribe, and follow. All right, guys, let's see how this goes in. Okay, and just like that, the seat is back in. We've got this cable that we're gonna tuck along here, and then we will plug everything in and see how we do. Yeah, together. But before we start putting stuff back together, let's just make sure that it works. So on the back, there should be a switch. Found it. Okay, first sign. That's a good sign. Red light. Power. Green light. Good. Good. Let's start at like a mid-frequency. I don't know what this is. I'll have to read through it. The remote is plugged in. We're gonna have to figure out where to put the remote. If you have an idea for where I should mount the remote, leave it in the comments below. Now I can put the sides back on. Well, let's just try and use it here for a minute, and then we'll go from there. So I've got the Xbox wheel on here. I feel like I bought something recently. Maybe I didn't. So yeah, we've got to go through and let's see how it is playing something. See if we can feel it.
And 3 right, into 2 left, into 3 right, opens into 1 left, tightens. And turn 3 right, into turn immediate 4 left to a crest. Opens long, don't cut tight.
Feels pretty awesome.
You
can definitely feel all these little bumps. And you can play with the intensity of it, which I probably
30.
need to. But as I put the gas down, I can feel it rumbling just a little bit more.
Right.
I feel like it's pulling
30.
more the bumps off of the sound of the exhaust than it is like, because it sounds, right?
Into 3 left.
Get out of the bushes.
Right. Into 4 left.
All right, so as a final kind of rundown review of this piece, as far as how easy is it to install, very easy, but I did have to kind of try something new to make that work. As far as a total review of how it works and how it compares, I want to get the Gamer 2 running first before I really dive into it. For now, it's pretty cool. There are a couple of things that I would change. It's just really basic, I guess, where it's kind of the analog technology, and it doesn't... I'd like it if it went into the USB and had specific things that went through the system. You know, the way that, like, the force feedback on, like, my podium wheel, for example. On my direct drive wheel, I can tell it, you know, what to do with rumble strips and that kind of stuff, where this one, it's completely sound-based, so I think that might limit the system a little bit. But overall, for the little bit I've used it so far, it's really cool, totally worth the money, and worth what it is. But I want to keep playing with it more. I want to give you a better review. So let's get the Gamer set up in the next episode. Let's go through some of it, and let's look at ways that we can really report back on exactly how it is. So ease of use and installation, very easy. I did have to come up with a few things. I'm not sure how it would be to install one of these. I know that they sell some bases and things, so I'd be curious to see how other people have put these on their systems when they're not using the actual Gamer one. So if you have a ButtKicker system, one of these minis like I have, or something that's for home theater, leave it in the comments below. Love to see it. Thank you guys for joining. Really stoked to have this in have this partnership with ButtKicker. These guys are very awesome. Their stuff's awesome, and I'm sure it'll continue to develop. If we don't tell them what we don't like about the product, how's it going to change? But overall, the product's really nice. I'd like to look at some ways that they could incorporate some of those things, but let's wait for a total final review once the Gamer 2 is installed on the chair. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Poke, like, subscribe, and share. Bye.